Everyone. Okay, broadcast. Hello, everyone. Good evening. If you can hear me, please, can you put in the comment section? I can hear you. I can see you. Just to be sure, we are live now. We are live. Please, if you can hear me, put in the comment section. I can hear you. I can see you. Thank you. As you do so. I'm not seeing any comments. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Please. Let's get started immediately. Okay. I think we should just get started. So this is the last session for the day, and the topic for, please, if you can hear me, just put it in the comment section so that we're on the same page. So topic for today is effective strategy for this session is effective strategy for fellowship and scholarship application. So we are going to get started right away, and we are having the amazing Grace Ihediama Izu. I hope I didn't butcher that. A global opportunity expert. Like, she's an expert in every sense of the word. It's not like just a title. She knows her onions when it comes to global opportunities. So for want of time, we will not be reading her exceptional bio here. If you want to see it, you can go to our social media pages. We have it on there. So if you would love to read her bio, you can go there. So I implore you, pay attention. This is going to be a very informative session. If you are looking to apply for scholarship, for fellowship, and you want to ace your applications, please do well to pay attention. Get your jotter, your pen, remove every distraction, because this is going to be so informative. So without any further ado, we are inviting Ma'am Grace to come and take us on a very informative ride. Thank you, Chimoku. I can see that now. Thank you. Join me to welcome Ma'am Grace, everybody. Let's welcome her. Thank you, Ma'am, for coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. Thank you to your team for also having me. Hello, everyone. So
Hello.
good to see you all and to also be here. So, like Jennifer said, use the chat section to let me know you're here. It's very encouraging to hear from people that we are speaking with. And with a platform like this, I can't really see you face to face, but then we can interact through the comment section. Okay. So I do have my slides and I'd like to speak with my slides. Could you add them to the screen? All right. So my topic today is effective strategies for fellowship and scholarship applications. And I'll just run through this very quickly. It does appear I just have only Chine Oku Angel. So am I talking to one person or are there more people in this room today? Thank you, Angel. Is there anybody else watching me right now? Please feel free to say hello. Hi, Chidima and Erica. Good to see you all. I train Africa. Awesome. I'm glad that I'm not speaking to one person. So it's good to see that there are more people here. Okay, there's a lot to take out. You know, a lot of people who attended my Go Global Masterclass last month, if they were on this call, I'm sure they'll be pretty sad that what they paid for to learn, some of it I'm going to be dishing it out right now. So I just want to say you guys are so lucky that I'm bringing some of those premium content here. So I'm hoping that it's well received and that we have a productive time together. So let me start by saying that in the world of global opportunities, it's not just about being good. It's about presenting yourself in an exceptional way. All right. It's about presenting yourself in an exceptional way. So most people are good, right? You probably know about change makers, social innovators, people who are doing amazing work in different sectors. You know them, they're around you, you hear about them, you see them, you're connected to them. But the truth is, not all of them will have access to opportunities. And Those who eventually are able to land global opportunities are those who are able to tell their stories better and those who are able to present themselves exceptionally well. So that's why it's important for you to have an effective strategy for navigating all these opportunities so you can land them. Before I get started, I want to just share a little bit about myself for those people here who don't know who I am. My name is Grace, and I am an award-winning social entrepreneur, educator, and opportunity creator. So I'm an opportunity curator because of Opportunity Desk and the work that we've been doing for the past 11 years. In 2012, I started the virtual platform called opportunitydesk.org. And that platform has reached over 11 million people across the world. And it's one of the largest platforms that shares information about fully funded opportunities for young people across the world. So if you don't know about Opportunity Desk, you're in a very long thing. So I invite you and encourage you to start using the platform now. So my experiences running Opportunity Desk inspired me to write my very first book called Go Global with Opportunities. So that book is every young person's guide, every young person's tool to learn how to better access and navigate opportunities. And I tell you, thousands of people have purchased and read that book, and it has continued to transform their lives. I get success stories every day, every now and then, about how that book has changed people's mindsets and, equipped them with the knowledge and the skills that they need to effectively navigate global opportunities. So if you don't have a copy after this session, figure out where to get one or reach out to me on my social media platforms, and I will connect you to maybe a vendor so you can get a copy for yourself. It's not very expensive. I deliberately left the price at what it is so that people can afford it. It's a very useful resource guide to have. So I also went on to co-found Academic Hive because I wanted to specifically reach people in the academia. I am a lecturer. I teach university students in Nigeria and even here in North America where I am. So because I have experiences in the academia, I co-founded Academic Hive to create and increase access to opportunities for research scholars and students. I want them to have access to more specifically academic opportunities. And also cumulatively, I have 10 plus years experience doing this. So if there's anybody who can teach this topic very well, you'd know that that's me, right? And everything I'll be sharing today is because it's true, it's authentic, it works, it's tested, it's trusted. And I'm not just saying it from my head, I'm saying it because it's something that I have also lived, and I have taught others, they have lived it and they've gotten results. So yeah, that's me. I'm the mother of one cute little king called David. and that's it. So let's delve right into the topic for today. So when we talk about fellowships and scholarships, I just want you to know that it's not just about getting money or receiving financial support to travel or receiving fully funded air tickets, to go somewhere, right? Any opportunity that is a fellowship, any opportunity that is a scholarship is actually a pathway. It's a pathway to unlock remarkable educational and career opportunities. So that's why you shouldn't take them for granted. I'm saying this and emphasizing it because a lot of people get opportunities. They travel as far as Germany, Switzerland, Japan, just for the fun of it. So they go to these places. I've met so many people like this. They go to these places and they misuse the opportunities. So they come back to their countries empty. They come back with nothing because they didn't have a plan, they didn't have a strategy. They just wanted to get a fully funded trip. They wanted to hop on a flight and just travel, right? They forgot that all these opportunities are designed to help you grow. They help you unlock, further education and career opportunities. You meet people that you would otherwise not meet. You will exchange ideas, you will learn best practices, and you gain unique experiences that other young people in your country will not be able to have. So just don't think about it as free trip or free money. No, think about it as a pathway, as a means to an end. To unlock those other opportunities that are ahead for you. The second thing I want you to know is that securing these fellowships and scholarships, can be very, very competitive. That's the truth. Very competitive in the sense that a lot of people who are very good, just as good as you are, if not better than you, are also applying. And I mean, you are applying for something that maybe is open to just 60 people who would be selected, but then 6,000 people are applying, 10,000 people are applying. So what's going to make you stand out? What's going to make you be one of the lucky people one day? It's a strategy you're going to have that you're going to implement that will now make this possible. And so if you want to stand out from the crowd, if you want to maximize your chances of success, you need a strategy. Why do you need that strategy? Because imagine that there is a podium, right? And people, when I say podium, I mean like a stage where people can come and talk. Imagine that there's a podium and there are thousands of people sitting in the crowd. Only a few people can stand on that podium. Everybody in the crowd, in the audience, cannot stand on that podium, except they say, everybody come and take a picture. And even if they do that, not everybody can fit into the podium. So effective strategies are the steps you take to reach that podium. Oh, I'm an excellent person. I'm great at what I do. And the organizers have invited me to speak. That's a strategy, right? So whatever you do to reach that podium is a strategy. Efficient strategies can make your application memorable, and they can create a lasting impact and turn your aspirations into realities. Now let's get into those strategies. My number one strategy, I just have about 5 to share with you today. My number one strategy is research and preparation. This entire journey of going global with opportunities begins with thorough research. It begins with finding fellowships and then finding those scholarships that align with your passions and your ambitions. What are your passions? What are you interested in? What are you looking forward to achieving? What is your ambition? So the journey really begins with finding those, researching, doing your homework, finding those specific opportunities that actually align with your passion, with your interest, with your work, with your purpose, so that you don't fall for just any and everything, right? And if what I'm saying makes sense to you, I would like you to also use the chat section to just, share some of your thoughts and experiences. I'd love to read them as well. I don't like to just talk to people. I also like to learn and hear back from them. So that is where your journey begins from: researching, preparing yourself, and then researching those opportunities that align. So that when you see a fully funded trip for a 1-year fellowship program in the US, even though it sounds fantastic and they tell you they're going to pay you a stipend every month, there's actually a fellowship like that. You don't just go for it because, I'm going to be in the US for 1 full year and I'm going to have a job. This Nigeria self that I don't even have any, my salary is not there yet. Then you grab it only for you to land the US, you get into the program and realize that it's for starters. And you are way, 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 way ahead. In fact, you should be one of the facilitators, not one of the participants. And then you leave and you're stuck because you've gotten this visa. You have to go for the program. So 1 year of your life, you have to dedicate it to this program. Only for 1 year to finish, you come out and you are angry. You feel like you've wasted 1 year of your life. Yes, I was in the US, but what did I achieve? What progress have I made? Maybe this program would have been best fit for me 10 years ago when I started, not now. Maybe it would have been best fit for me 5 years ago when I started, not now. What I need is another kind of opportunity that is fast-paced, hybrid, that can allow me to still focus on my work, but achieve what I want to achieve and move on. Maybe you need a different kind of opportunity. So that's why I said thoroughly research. If you see any opening, any opportunity, don't just go with the excitement and start applying. Find out what that opportunity is about, who it is meant for, and then ask yourself that honest question of, does it fit into my passion? Does it fit into my goals right now? Does it fit into my ambitions? Does it fit into where I am going to next? So that you don't pull yourself backward. Number 2 is that your goal is to identify opportunities that resonate with your academic pursuits, your career objectives, and your personal interests. Don't take a scholarship that is not going to align. Let me give you a very real example. Somebody took a scholarship. She went for her master's to a country. I'm not going to mention the country. And she went to that country. She got married to someone who is a citizen in that country. And she felt like, oh, wow, finally I can jack back and just leave, through this scholarship program. And she finished her program. And unfortunately, she was sent back home. Why? Because they felt that she deceived them by coming to the country and then marrying somebody there so she can stay back. They reminded her that the visa type she came with to that country required her to go back to her country and stay there for a number of years. So now, even though she's married and she has every right to stay back in that country with her spouse, she still had to go back to her country to serve those number of years before she can reconnect with her spouse. So you can imagine the lost time, the disappointment, the pain. You don't want to be that person. You want to be someone who can identify scholarship opportunities that resonate with your pursuit, with your objectives, and with your interests. Finally, still under this first strategy of research and preparation is to understand the requirements. You see, application guidelines are there for a reason. They are there as a roadmap. It's just like some of us that now rely on Google Maps, to navigate, to know where we're going to. I don't know if some of you, I don't know if you use Google Maps when you drive. I rely so much on it, right? It shows me where I'm going. It tells me to turn right, turn left at this point, at that point. If I don't use my Google Map and I'm going on a long journey, I might probably get lost. Not probably, I will get lost. So application guidelines are there for a reason. Sometimes application guidelines are so long, they're not attractive to read. So you look at them and you're like, as long as I know that it's for young Africans between 18 and 35, I think I fit in. Let me just go in. You didn't take time to read and wait to see where they said you'll be responsible for your maybe accommodation, or we need you to provide 3 references, or your references must be in this sector and this sector. Your application guideline is showing you exactly what that organization is looking for. Understand the requirements before you start applying so that you can follow all they're asking you to do meticulously. This will help to set the stage for your tailored application materials, which we'll look at very shortly. So the second strategy is tailor your application for success. Tailor your application for success. You see, you just imagine an actual tailor. Imagine an actual tailor. If you just give them a material and they do nothing, you don't have a dress, right? But the tailor knows what to do to put this piece of material together, thread them together nicely, and get you a wonderful dress. Tailoring is very important because one size does not fit all. Imagine that there are no tailors. That means all of us will be wearing big, big boobas, one size clothes. So whether you're a baby or an adult or a grown-up man, a woman, or a youth, you're wearing the same size of clothes. That would be ridiculous, right? So one size does not fit all. You cannot use the same answer you gave for opportunity A. You now use it for opportunity B. It's not going to work. It's not going to work, even when you're applying for jobs. And that's why I feel like a lot of people are not landing the jobs that they want, because you are basically using the same cover letter, the same CV, the same application. Everything you use for this opportunity, you're using it for this other opportunity, right? So it's important for you to tailor. Tailoring is your key to unlocking doors. Now, how do you tailor? You tailor by customizing each application to highlight how perfectly you fit the fellowships or scholarships vision, mission, and values. Classic example, as I speak to you, a new job opportunity came up for me. I mean, it's a short-term contract job, and I'm going to apply. I'm actually applying. Well, before I got into this call, I was working on my cover letter, and after my cover letter, I'm going to work on my CV, right? And because I really want that, I want that experience. I want that experience. So I figured my CV is not going to work. And the cover letter too that I used for the previous role is not going to work for this role. So I'm thinking, what are the experiences I've had in the past that align with what they're looking for right now? As I speak to you, I've not yet figured it out. But that's something I have to answer. If I don't answer it, then my chances of getting that job is very slim. And I shouldn't be angry if they don't select me. So customize your applications so that you can highlight how perfectly you fit into the program's vision, mission, and values. Number 3 point is to address each guideline, then demonstrate your attention to detail and commitment. Yes, if they have given you 7 guidelines and you actually addressed all 7 guidelines to the letter, it shows that you're someone who pays attention to details. Another person may not mind, they just address only 5 and leave 2. And the reviewers will feel like this one doesn't pay attention. Why? How did you miss out on this or that? For example, as simple as deadline is, they tell you the deadline is on 17th of October 2023. And you just run with it. Oh, you didn't check that the guideline also said at 5 p.m. what? So you go thinking the deadline is, 7, whatever. I don't know what date I called just now, but the deadline is this. And then you wait till 11:59 p.m. that night and say, oh, just before it turns 12 a.m., let me make sure that this application gets in. That's not how it works. Pay attention to detail to know that the deadline is 5 p.m. on that day so that you get your application in before 5 p.m. of that day. Those who will not pay attention are those who will keep it until 11 p.m., 11:59 p.m. I know this because a lot of people do it. My last point under tailoring your application for success is to highlight specific experiences and accomplishments that show that you are an ideal candidate for this opportunity. Yes. And I hear some people say, but I don't have the experience. They're asking for this experience, but I don't have it. Please, you need a coach, and I'm here. But you will pay to see me. And the truth is, I will engage you in a conversation, ask you critical questions that will make you think back and bring out those experiences. Because sometimes the experiences you think you don't have, you actually have them in abundance. But you have them in disguise. You have them in other smaller opportunities you're overlooking. We've worked with tons of students and we've seen that. Some people will send us their CV. And then when we start, we ask them, okay, these people say they need publications. You're applying for a scholarship. They want to see that you are somebody who is an academically excellent person, and they want to see your publications. And the person is telling you, oh, I'm just an undergraduate student. I just graduated recently. I don't have publications. How could I have published anything? What? That's not what we mean. We'll work with you to fish out some of those assignments you did related to what they're asking for. We'll fish it out. We'll give it a title. We'll bring the name of the lecturer as co-researcher, put your name there, bring out objectives. Even you will look at them like, did I actually do this? Yes, you did it. So you do have some of those experiences, except you truly don't have those experiences. You have them. How well are you going to articulate or tell your story so that you can show them you're an ideal candidate for the opportunity? Number 3, my third strategy. Remember I said I have 5 strategies for you guys today. So my third strategy is to craft a compelling personal statement. Unfortunately, I can't deal on this topic. It's so broad. I like to break it down, show you like sample questions and how to approach each question. If you really want that, take my Go Global Masterclass. I'm not trying to sell, but I am telling you that masterclass will change a lot of things for you. Go and take it because I broke it down. Yes, I broke it down for you. So, but these are the things I'm going to share very quickly. Your personal statement is your chance to showcase your motivations, your experiences, and your aspirations. Now, the truth is, the opportunity may not say clearly personal statement. That's not what they write. So you won't see it called personal statement. But every opportunity has an essay. Most of them have essays attached to them. So there's something to write. In fact, some of them will ask you questions. Those questions are they're asking, they know why they're asking you those questions. Because if they say, go and write the personal statement, you may not address those questions. So they broke it down into pieces for you, right? And you're supposed to take each question and address a lot of them. Oh, Jennifer Chidera, I see you here. Jennifer was part of the Go Global Masterclass and she knows what I'm talking about. So your personal statement is your chance to showcase your motivation, your experiences, and your aspirations. That's where you blow your horn. That's where you talk about everything you've done. That's where you are not modest about your achievements, right? My second point there is to craft a narrative that weaves your experiences into a central theme that allows the reviewers to understand your journey. So you see, you're going to have to tell a story, and you don't want that story to be cut and join. You want everything to flow seamlessly. So your ability to craft a narrative, a story, a response that weaves all your experiences into a central theme. So if you're talking about something related to overcoming poverty, or something related to solving a problem, or something related to making a decision in the face of dilemma, whatever the theme is for that question, right? You're able to say your story in a way that brings everything together nicely, concisely, clearly so that your reviewers will even congratulate you and say, oh yes, this person knows what they're doing. My third point is for you to highlight your unique qualities and perspectives. What are those qualities you have? What are those skills you have? What are those things that stand you out? What do you know? What's your personal opinion about certain things? How have you integrated other people's opinions into yours to form a very constructive opinion about something? It's going to reflect in your personal statement. Sometimes it's just one sentence. Only one sentence can stand you out. Number 4 point there is to avoid generic responses. You see, this point is very important because some of you have heard about AI. You know about AI tools and platforms. In fact, these days when I receive emails, it's AI. People send me emails and I'm like, really? You had to use AI to send this email? I know AI emails, I know AI essays, I know AI everything. Don't fall into that trap. Don't do it. You can use AI to maybe get an idea of what to do, but do not rely on it completely. Still find a way to bring that human part of you into your essays and speak from your heart, write from your heart, write as if they were talking to you and you were talking back, so that eventually when you get this opportunity and you meet these people, you're able to continue to flow and relate. So sometimes these AI platforms will now give you generic responses, and the same thing they're giving it to other people, because trust me, you're not the only smart one in the room. Other people are going to use these platforms to try to get ideas. So everybody's saying the same thing. I hope you are doing well. I hope everybody's using, I hope you are doing well, because AI told them that is how to start the email. I hope you are doing well. So those generic responses, of course, will not stand here. Go back to thinking. Yes, you can use all these online tools, blogs, platforms to get ideas, but go back to thinking. Think and craft your own thing. Be original, right? Give specific examples. Always use specific personal examples and stories. Give us the name of where you worked last or the experience you had last. If you can even share the name, it makes sense. It goes a long way. Share those specific personal stories. Don't tell lies, but share stories of things that actually happened that connect to what you're talking about, so people can see that you're doing a good job. And finally, authenticity is key. There's nothing like being yourself when you're writing your personal statements or answering essay questions. Be your authentic self. And what does that mean? Be your original self. Don't try to be like someone else, or don't try to pose as someone else, or don't lie about any part of you. Be real. Let them feel it that you are real. Let them not. Don't give people the impression that this one did not really do the work. She's just looking for opportunity to jackpot. Don't give people the opportunity to say that. Let them feel your passion. You know, there's a way you read somebody's work and you can feel the energy. You can feel the passion. You can feel the drive. You can feel it. It's exuding from their writing. Let it be you. The fourth strategy is to build a strong resume and CV. I have several strategies. I think I'll add one more strategy to this: build a strong resume and CV. I did not add it to the slides, but please, if you have your notes, write it there. Build a strong online presence as well. So build a strong online presence, because now, I mean, it's everything. Somebody said your social media platform is your CV. The world is looking at it. Most embassies now are relying on what you look like online to decide if they're giving you a visa or not, right? Employers are doing the same thing. So you can imagine that scholarship bodies are doing the same thing. Fellowship bodies are also doing the same thing. So build a strong resume and CV, but also build a strong online presence. As you're building your CV, make sure that your social media is also a reflection of who you really are, and it's also showing or showcasing your unique experiences and all your achievements, right? Use your LinkedIn first. LinkedIn is very important. When I say social media, people think it's just Facebook and Twitter. No, it's not just Facebook and Twitter. In fact, I have a brother who is not on Facebook, he's not on Twitter, he's not on anything, but he's on LinkedIn. And through LinkedIn, he landed a global job. Through LinkedIn, he landed another global job. So it's not, you don't have to be everywhere. People like us, we know what we're doing. We're trying to inspire everybody everywhere. That's why we're everywhere. But you don't have to be like everybody. If Twitter is not your thing, don't be there. Don't force yourself to be there. If Facebook is not your thing, don't force yourself. If Threads don't force yourself. But you see LinkedIn, please, there's nothing like it's not my thing. Your LinkedIn page is like your CV. Go and put together all the things you have achieved, your school, your certificate, your skills. That is it. Unfortunately, yeah, that is it, right? So build a strong online presence so that when I Google your name, when they Google your name, they can see useful information about you that tallies with what you have in your CV, tallies with what you have in your essays, and tallies with what you have in your cover letters. So my first point here for building a strong resume and CV is to showcase your experiences, your skills, and accomplishments that are relevant to that fellowship. So always go back to your CV. In fact, have different CVs. You should have a folder on your computer that has different copies of CVs. Academic CV, different from job CV. Then when it comes to job CV, different types of jobs with different types of CVs, depending on what you're applying for, or fellowships, different types of fellowships, CVs, and all. Because some fellowships will say, give us a one-page CV. So you have to go and change your entire CV to a one-page. Another fellowship will say, give us a two-page or three-page max CV. Another fellowship is saying, give everything to us, curate all your experiences. So they don't mind if you have a 5-page or 10-page CV, right? So don't go changing that one CV you have so that you don't lose the original information. Have your one original CV, but then always have like duplicate copies that you can always adjust, right? Make sure that your CV is highlighting the skills and experiences that are relevant to the opportunity you are applying for. How do you know? You see some of the keywords in the opportunity. You check it out, the description. You see, that's why Opportunity Desk is very good. Because if you go to the website directly, right, you see so many information, so much, a lot. Sometimes it's confusing, you don't even know where to start from. But platforms like opportunitydesk.org give you a summary. So from that summary, you have an idea what the keywords are, so that you ensure that your CV has some of those keywords, not necessarily all the keywords, but has some of those keywords in those CVs, and it makes sense to the reviewers that you actually read through what they wanted and you are the perfect fit, you're the person they're looking for. Number 2 point there is to quantify your achievements. Always use numbers. Statistics, numbers, percentages. Always use numbers to quantify your achievements, right? It makes it look like you're making real impact, and then it adds to your credibility. Let me tell you how it makes it look like you're making real impact. Someone can, for example, host a training program that reached only 10 people. Only 10 people attended that training program. But do you know that they can use statistics to report the impact more than you that had a training for 1,000 people? Do you know that? Please, can you use the comment section and tell me if I'm right or wrong? Is it possible that somebody who held a training for 10 people can report the impact of that training better than somebody who held a conference for 1,000 people? Yes or no? Comments, please. Yes or no? Okay, so I'm not seeing comments, but I'm hoping that everybody's listening to me. So it's absolutely possible that somebody who had a training for 10 people can say, I held this training for 10 underprivileged girls, and 50% of participants went on to secure admission to further their studies. I see your comments. You guys are saying, yes, it's possible. Do you see how that person is saying 50%? 50% of 10 is 5.
Right.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
50% of 10 is 5. But guess what? If the person who did 1,000 participants, maybe 100 people, maybe eventually got something, maybe a job or whatever, that's 10%. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So if you see a statistic that says 10% of my participants plus another statistic that says 50% of my participants, which one will you take? Which one are you going to take? You will take the one that is telling you that 50%, because that means half of the people who came,
Yeah.
their lives were transformed. That is impact. You are more credible. So don't focus too much on, I want large numbers. I want this. No. When I was starting out, I used to design my training program for only 30 people. I will get grants. They'll tell me, do it for more people. I say, I'm not interested in more people. I'm interested in, let me focus on the people I can get and make sure that their lives are really, really transformed. And that's what we're doing for years. So I'm not saying go and do small numbers, right? Dare to do big numbers, but I'm saying whatever it is you do, use numbers to quantify your achievements because it adds impact and credibility to what you're saying and what you're talking about. The last point there under building a strong resume and CV is to include relevant extracurricular activities that demonstrate your leadership, your teamwork, and your commitment. Now, if you see my CV, right? Apart from my work experience, that's not even the most attractive thing in my CV. What's attractive in my CV is not work experience. I did not work in Fortune 500 company. Neither did I work with one big startup. I've only worked with a university and then my own organizations. But what makes my CV so rich are the other experiences that I've created. You will see another section called leadership experiences. How I'm the regional ambassador for Technovation. How I am sitting on the board of 3 to 5 youth organizations. How I am the, what's the other one that I have there again? Faculty advisor for Ignactus Unica. Well, but if you see the list is long, you'll be like, how does she even have the time to do all this with her full-time job and her businesses? Those are what makes my work attractive. So if you see the opportunity to volunteer. That is why I'm preaching volunteer. When you see me talking about volunteer, it's not because I want to kill you. Economy is hard, there's no money. How can you tell us to go and volunteer and they won't pay us? No, that's not why. You're volunteering because of the experience. You're volunteering because of the value you're going to get from it at the end of the day. So make sure you're highlighting those relevant extracurricular activities that demonstrate your leadership, teamwork, and commitment. And let me tell you, mine has evolved over time. If you see my CV when I left school in 2010, I graduated from university in 2010. If you see my CV back then and my CV now, is very different. In fact, the experiences I put back then, that I've deleted them from my present CV because I now have more experiences and it just cancels all those other smaller experiences, right? So you grow through the process. Don't be afraid to put that you are a volunteer teacher in your children's church. Don't be afraid to put that you helped at a food bank to help give food to the poor. As simple as that. Even if it was, let me tell you something. Some people can volunteer for years or for months, but do you know that even if it's a one-day volunteer experience that you had, you can report it on your CV and count the number of hours so that then when you put the experience, you put that you volunteered for 20 hours. So that anybody seeing it, they'll not just say, it's only one day volunteering, it doesn't count. No, if you quantify it and say 20 hours of volunteering, do you know what it means to put in 20 hours? Do you know that somebody can say, I volunteered for 6 months, but the number of hours they volunteered could have been just 5 hours. So let's say in those 6 months, only 2 times that project meeting happened. And each time they only met for 2 hours, 30 minutes. Only 2 times in 6 months. But they'll go and write on their CV 6 months, right? Yeah. But you that volunteer for one day, you actually did more work than them because yours is actually 20 hours. Do you see why you should quantify? I don't want to go back and forth, but I'm hoping that I'm making sense. Anyway, the 5th strategy is to I actually have 6 strategies. So this is the 5th one, and then we have the last one. The 5th strategy is to consider the key things. And what do I call the key things? I'm saying start early. Always start early. When I say start early, I'm not saying go and submit earlier. I remember the Go Global Masterclass, I gave out a fully funded trip to Kigali, Rwanda to one participant from that training. And I put up an application form and I asked everybody, oh yeah, you've learned so much from me. Oh yeah, apply. I want to see how you have applied what you've learned. And we have a judge panel and they're going to review your applications and we'll pick the winner of this fully funded trip. And I have not even finished though. I just created the Google form. I just sent the link into the group. I was still editing the Google form because sometimes I'm so excited when I'm trying to launch something. I can put out the link, but then I'm still building the Google whatever application platform, right? So I needed to go and still adjust some questions and all. Next thing, you didn't even reach for 15 minutes. First application has entered. Bam! And I said, what? This student has to be expelled because how can you go? How can you just apply like that? Did you read through? Of course, it was. At some point I said, let me not judge this person. Let me actually read through the application. Maybe they made sense. And then I read through and they did not make sense. There was too much error. They didn't quite understand the question, but they were so excited about the prospect of getting a fully funded trip to Kigali. And so that was it. And of course, they didn't make it. So start early. When I say start early, I'm saying make out time to research, make out time to write, make out time to edit, make out time to review. Don't be the last to submit, but also don't just, there's no reward to be the first to submit. Absolutely no reward. In fact, you are annoying that you're the first to submit, except that opportunity specifically said, oh, the first 10 people, that's different, right? But these people have a streamlined process where everybody will apply, then they will now collate the applications and then start the official review process. So being the first does not make any sense, but being the last also is not good, because what if your internet, something happens? I'm always usually the last to submit things, but don't be like me, because what if your internet is not working? What if that day the devil decides to stand at the door waiting for your hand? Come and go now. On your way home, you're like, okay, in 15 minutes I'll be at home and then I'll submit. Unfortunately for you, that day there's serious traffic. What are you going to do? You can't kill yourself. You just let the opportunity go. So just be on time. Start early. Have a strategy. Have a plan that by so and so date I have submitted. I always give myself my own internal deadlines. Give yourself internal deadlines for things. So it helps you stay more accountable. It helps you meet up with deadlines and do things. Give yourself internal deadlines different from the fixed deadline for applications. Don't forget about it. Proofread diligently for grammar, spelling, and clarity. There are people who are willing to help review your applications or your essays on time. Send to the people very close to me who I mentor, right? Don't come to me asking me to mentor you, because I'm no longer doing mentoring program. If you come to me for me to mentor you, I'll ask you to go and buy my Go Global Masterclass or book a one-on-one session with me. But the people who are currently under my tutelage, I do not tolerate you. The deadline is tomorrow morning. Then you now send me your application today and then tell me to please review it before. As in how? I should not live my life. I should pause my life and start reviewing so that you can submit. No, it doesn't work like that. Give the people time as well. Give them ample time, at least 3 days, to look over your stuff, even if more days, because some people may not even have the time for at least 2 weeks, and you really need their input. I know what people's input did for me. There's an opportunity I got. I think it was the opportunity to enter into Global Change Makers, a global network of change makers across the world. One of the best opportunities that I've also received. We went to Brussels, Germany for the first summit, and then I came back as a peer facilitator in Switzerland for their summit as well. Now, before I got into that program, they said, create a 1-minute video talking about, what the change you're making in your community and how this program is going to help you. They didn't want essays, they just wanted a video. So I went to, please don't laugh, try your best not to laugh. So I dressed up, I wore this lovely suit that I had. I mean, I was just a young person, I don't even know where I got that suit from. Thinking about it now. So I wore my suit and then I went to this studio. This was many years ago, 2012. So there were these photography studios, you go there, people didn't have phones that could do videos like that. So I went to that studio and then they said it was 5,000 naira. Back then, 5,000 naira was a lot of money. And I just paid that money. I was like, okay. They said, what do you want? They said, I want you to please put me in a fine studio background. I want the audio to be good. I just want to talk about something in 1 minute. Then you help me edit it so that I can submit my application. They said, okay, that's fine. So I went to the studio, I recorded myself, and then I was about to submit when something said, reach out to this senior friend of yours. I reached out to this senior friend of mine and I sent the video to him. I was like, please, his name is Chidi. And I said, hi Chidi, please, could you help me review this video before I submit it? If you were a judge, I told him, if you were a judge, will you pick me? Forget that we're friends, will you pick me? And then Chidi got back to me and said, I would never, ever, even in my dreams, pick you. Why? I spent so much, I was so bitter. I said, I spent so much money. I did this. Why? What's going on? What's wrong with it? I said the right things, but everything I said is true. I looked good. I dressed. He said, no, because you look like a liar. I said, how do you mean? He said, you're so dressed up for something that I want to see you. I want to see kids behind your back. I want to see you on the field. You say you're working with out of school youth. You say you're working with children. I want to see you in that kind of environment. I don't want you dressed up. I don't want to see makeup on your face. I don't want to dress up. Maybe wear your organization t-shirts. Just appear to be passionate. So that video is still online. Some of you go and type my name, Grace Henjamaizu. That video is still online. I've been trying to delete the video because we've come a very long way. I'm like, why is this video still on the internet? But unfortunately, I've lost access to that Gmail address, right? My time is almost up, so I'm going to wrap up shortly. And I just followed his advice and I redid that video. And that's the video that's online right now. When I watched the video, I sent it back to him. I was like, so is this okay now? He said, this is perfect. I will select you if I was a judge. I said, but this video is not nice. I don't even look good. I look hungry. So that is the video I want. And I was selected for the opportunity. I was one of the best applicants. And that video is still there. You can go and see it, right? And it's still very, very funny to me today, but it shows me the importance of having someone else review your applications. Yeah. Get your friends to do so. You know that senior friend you have, that mentor that can do it free of charge. If you come to me, you will pay for it. That's the truth. So don't come and bombard me to review, except you've taken my course. Like Chidera has taken my Go Global Masterclass. So she can always send me something and I'll make her time and look at it. Okay, so have peers and mentors review application. Fresh eyes can catch errors and suggest, and they can suggest improvements. Review your application components thoroughly to ensure you followed instructions accurately. Then ensure all required documents are included. Yes, always go back to the guidelines and make sure that the required documents are included so that you don't jeopardize your chances. I've seen people say, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot to include my transcript. I was waiting for it from school, but why didn't you go and get a student copy? Do you know that I couldn't get, during COVID, when I was applying for this PhD program I'm currently doing in Canada, during COVID, I needed my transcript. The schools were not open to give me transcripts. Do you know what I did? I didn't even have statement of results. So I remember that there was one other thing that looked like a draft statement of results. It was not the official one, but I had access to it. I submitted it with my PhD application and I was selected. But when I was selected, they gave me a conditional offer asking me to go and get the original transcript that must correlate with what I have sent to them before they can confirm their admission. And I said, thank you. And that's how I started. By then, COVID had gone down. God helped me. And then I got my original transcript. And the result of the transcript matched what was on the draft I sent to them. So don't give any excuses and say the school did not give me transcript. Look for your student copy, statement of results, anything. Put it there and trust God that things will go well. Right? Final, I should have called this number 6. That was why I thought that I did 5. So the final point is excel in interviews. See, when it comes to fellowships and scholarships, interviews are usually part of the process. So you want to be able to check what are the common interview questions, what do they usually ask, reach out to alumni members, reach out to people who have won it in the past, reach out to a senior friend or mentor, let them help you with questions that could be asked, check online, you will see something, and then present yourself confidently. Showcase your passion for the opportunity. Confidence is the word. Come out correct, come out confident because you've done this work. Nobody else did it. So you deserve this opportunity. And if you deserve something, you'll be confident about asking for what you want, isn't it? It's only when you deserve something that you're shy and you're afraid and all of that. But if you truly deserve it, you've done the work, present yourself confidently, showcase your passion, and get that opportunity. I'm thinking about hosting a free live session to help folks who are trying to apply to the Mandela Washington Fellowship. Some of you know that the applications open today. It's an excellent fellowship program that young African leaders need to be part of. So reach out to me at Grace Iheji on social media platforms, send me a message, or follow me so that you know when I put out the date for that. It will be helpful for some of you. Now, on rejection, this is my last point. Rejections happen. So you can apply, but you may not be selected. But always know that it may not even have anything to do with you, right? They happen to even the most qualified candidates because 6,000 qualified people are applying, but they only need 6 or 60. it's not possible for everybody to enter. So if you're not selected, don't allow it to stop you. Don't allow it to make you give up or cry or go into depression. It's not a reflection of your worth. You just need to try again. Use rejection as a learning opportunity. Reflect on the feedback. If there's no feedback, write back to them and say, please, can you let me know what I could have done better? Most often they'll reply you, but not everybody does that. So you be the person who does it differently. If you apply for something you really, really wanted, you are not selected, after some time, ask them to please give you feedback and ask nicely. Then stay resilient, keep pushing out for other opportunities, and remember that persistence always pays off. It may take long, but it always pays off. Global opportunities can be life-changing, but they also require strategic effort and dedication. So I'm hoping that this session has given you some of the tools that you need, right, to effectively approach fellowships and scholarships. So it's time for you now to put those strategies into action. Start your research, refine your application materials, and reach for the stars. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma. This is like awesome. Like, please appreciate her in the comment section. Like, if you learned something today, not if you, please appreciate her in the comment section. This was amazing. Seriously amazing. So, like, I'm not seeing the comments, but I'm sure that their minds are blown right now. This is wholesome, solid, and everything. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Jenny.
much.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Unfortunately, I can't take questions right now.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so I'll catch up with everyone, maybe personally,
Okay.
if they reach out to me. Thank you again for
All
having
right.
me.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for gracing this platform. We are
No.
so grateful. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, she will. I'm blessed too. I was blessed too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. It's a pity she couldn't attend to session, but I know that we got so much from this session. Me, I was just jotting and jotting and jotting. I forgot you all. So thank you, Tawa, for bringing her on. Like, we brought the best of the best, the best. Like, as you can see, if you have been following since 5 o'clock, you would have seen that we just brought the best. And this one, like, it topped the charts. We are so glad for your participation. We thank you for being active throughout this session. Uh, your sacrifices, the seed you are sowing today, you are going to see the rewards if you keep putting all the effort and taking actions. So today is not just about listening, it's just not just about listening, it's what actions are you taking with what you have learned? That is the most important thing. Thank you so much, Tawa, for this amazing opportunity to interact with experts, because normally, like you heard what she said, if you have to come to her, you have to pay. But they brought this thing for us free. So we should go to our social media pages, social media profiles, social media, I don't know, anywhere you're active. You can say what you learned from today's session. This is the last session for today. So you can say what you learned from today's session. Tag Tower Africa on your social media pages. Tag us so that we will see you and will appreciate you for attending. So this is all for today. This is all for today. Tomorrow is going to be super, super amazing. Tomorrow is going to be power packed. So don't miss tomorrow. 5 o'clock, we're starting by 5 o'clock. We're going to bring experts. When I say experts, I mean real-time experts. So don't miss tomorrow, 5 o'clock. We get started immediately. So thank you once again for coming. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being active. I'm sure we've learned so much. Put to action. Action is the main thing. Put to action what you've learned. And by this time next year, maybe the next career fair, you might be the one, you might be the experts we are going to call. So thank you once again. Thank you, Tawa, for this opportunity. Like, we are so grateful. And my name remains Jennifer Azububu, and I'm glad to be your moderator for this night. Thank you, and see you tomorrow. Bye.